Mama's birthday and my sister Karen's birthday.
This is my anniversary, so can we go back?
And DJ's anniversary. All right, and so we'll start with our attendance roll call.
Some I like.
Jenny? Here. Jennifer? Bridget? Here. Darcy's at the CDC meeting. Kathy's at the CDC meeting. Catherine? Here. Rita has a family emergency. Denise? Here. Lana, she's out sick. DJ?
Here.
Kim? Here. Keith?
Here.
And Aaron.
Here. Okay, on the agenda tonight we have under resolutions, budgets, education YEA, education community-based science activities, indirect costs, membership services, 2 sanitation budgets, 12G80 and 13J11, 2 IRR roads planning, 1 general and 1 for Sugar Island roads, updating travel purchasing bid policy is a resolution, reaffirming and restating 401k plan, I almost said it wrong, acceptance of governmental audit, acceptance of 401k audit, amending chapter 20 bi-monthly catch reporting, and committee appointments. With that, what's the pleasure of the board? Motion and support. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries.
Motion to excuse those who are absent.
Second.
Is there, okay, there's a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. Okay, education YEA and activities FY 2015 budget modifications, and I think Jessica's here.
Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the FY 2015 budget modification to youth education activities for an increase in federal BIA monies of $16,803.55. No effect on travel support.
Motion.
Motion and support. Jessica.
Jessica Dunbeck, I'm the interim assistant executive director for the tribe, and I'm here on behalf of the Network from Youth Education. When the 2015 budget was submitted, there was a couple of lines that had been incorrect amounts budgeted. One was the activities line, and the other was the indirect cost line. So we're looking to increase indirect $11,429, other expenses $198, and then the supply item, the $20,000. And then the decrease in wages, some fringe, supplies and travel, and space costs. When YDA moved over to the big bear, their space costs decreased. So we're looking at an additional $15,803.
All right. Are there any questions? Bridget.
Is there a typo on Unit 5? There was 240 numbers?
Under the RAS.
And otherwise,
It seems like it would be possibly higher than Unit 1. I'd have to check with you on that for sure.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I just thought that was a lot.
I would think that Unit 1 would be higher, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it has to be.
I'll check.
It has to be. There are not that many. Well, there might be that many units total, but yeah, they could be just aggressively tutoring people there. All right. Are there any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carries. That's 161. Next up is education community-based science activities, establishment of an FY 2015 budget.
Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the establishment of a FY 2015 budget for community-based science activities with other revenue monies of $15,500. No effect on travel support.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion and support. Jessica.
YDA received $15,500 from the University of Minnesota. This will cover their Circle of Life program. $14,472 will go to direct services and travel at $1,028.
Are there any questions? We did workshop this in advance. Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carries. We're 2 for 2. Next is indirect cost membership services.
Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the FY 2015 budget modifications to indirect cost and indirect cost membership services for an increase in travel support monies of $17,578.57.
Motion to approve.
Motion and support. Jess.
When the 2015 budget was submitted, there was a few areas within the administration building that were omitted for space cost. So this brings it to where it needs to be.
Any questions or comments from the board? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carries. Thank you. Next is our sanitation BE 12G80.
Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the FY 2016 budget modification to sanitation BE 12G80 for a decrease in IHS monies of $8,200.01. No effect on travel support. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and support, and we have Christine, who is
Yes.
our
Executive Director. And I'm here on behalf of Jody Talatino, who is in charge of our housing program. And what this is it reflects unexpended funds that were awarded in last year's funding to be carried over into 2016 budget. It's really a part of the timing of the year. These revenues were already allocated to a project specific, and it just establishes a new budget to be able to be spent on that project in the upcoming 2016 year.
Okay, are there any questions from the board? Again, for the benefit of the audience, this was workshopped already previously with Joni was present. Okay, with that, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carries. Next is the other sanitation budget, which is 13J11.
Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the FY 2016 budget modification to sanitation BE 13J11 for an increase in IHS monies of $18,912.60. No effect on travel support.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion and support. Christine?
This is same situation where we have, where the total project was not expended in 2015, and it's a budget to establish the carryover monies into the 2016, and again, would already be assigned to those existing projects.
Are there any questions from the board? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carries. Next up is IRR Roads Planning.
Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the establishment of an FY 2015 budget for IRR roads planning with federal BIA monies of $20,265.28. No effect on travel support. Motion.
Second.
Motion and support. Christine?
This is to establish a 2015 budget based upon the carryover from 2014, and it really is to finish the funding for the transit program and study. There is no additional cost, and this is all federal funding.
Are there any questions? Wendy did present it to the travel board at a previous session. Both of the next one as well. Okay, hearing no questions, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carries. Next is IRR Roads, Sugar Island Roads, FY 2015 budget modification.
Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the FY 2015 budget modification to IRR Roads, Sugar Island Roads, for a decrease in BIA monies of $675,456.39. No effect on travel support.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion to approve and seconded. Christine?
Again, Wendy did come and explain this. This is a grant that we did receive in 2014 for the Sugar Island Roads project. It was not all completed and money wasn't transferred through into the 2016. So this reduces the FY 2015, which is this year, of the amount that was already paid to the county of $136,150, which remains then a budget of $675,456.39. Or did I get that out?
Just the opposite.
Just the opposite, I'm sorry. We did pay the $675,456.39, and we have a remaining amount that remains in the 2015 budget of $150,61,
Yep.
which we expect to clear the books this year.
Okay, are there any questions from the board? This one, I believe we'll take a roll call.
Bridget,
Yes.
BJ,
Yes.
Kim? Yes. Catherine?
Yes.
Jennifer? Yes. Denise?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes.
Jenny?
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Next is updating tribal purchasing bid policy.
Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Directors approves the attached tribal purchasing bid policy.
Second.
Motion and second. We have Bill Conley.
Hi, I'm Bill Conley, I'm a tribal CFO. The audit committee had requested some changes to the bid policy through the purchasing department. They reviewed the changes made. There was a presentation back to the full board during a workshop, and then there was another recommended changes regarding section 6 for conflict of interest. So with this last change, we have inserted a parenthetical reference to the employee handbook for the tribal general conduct, conflict of interest and confidentiality policies, and that was given to the audit committee at their last meeting, and what their next recommendation was to bring it to the full board, and so that's what we've done.
Okay, any questions or comments? This one has been a long time worked on, so it's definitely ripe for picking. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. Thank you, Bill. I think you're probably the next one too. Reaffirming John, restating 401k plan.
Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Directors adopts the amended and restated plan document in the manner and form presented to the Board of Directors effective on date first possible with implementation processes complete. Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors authorizes execution of the plan document in the name of and on behalf of the tribe by any officer of the tribe and authorizes them to take such other actions as they may deem appropriate to implement the purposes of this resolution. And be it finally resolved that the chairperson and chief financial officer and their designees are hereby authorized to execute and sign such other documents as may be necessary to operate and maintain the 401k plan.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and support. John.
So John Renette, General Counsel, the tribe maintains a 401k plan that's voluntarily participated in by employees. Federal law requires that the plan be updated and restated at least every 6 years in our case, in order to comply with federal law and make sure that we've adapted to any changes in federal regulation. This is a perfectly routine sort of thing. The 6-year period is up. Time for us to reaffirm the plan in essence. We are making no substantive changes to the plan. This is just keeping it in place for future years.
Okay, are there any questions or comments? It was workshop previously. Without objection, there's a question or comment from the audience. Hearing no objection.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Does that mean you have the ability, or you're not going to take initiative and putting things back into the employees' 401k?
This is not the time. That could have any time.
That's really an entirely separate question, but
Well, I'm
unless,
just asking.
unless this resolution is passed, there won't be a plan to put it.
Oh, well, okay. We'll pass it and then we'll go back to the question.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next is reaffirming and acceptance of governmental audit.
Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby appoints blank to perform the governmental audit for the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians for an amount not to exceed a total of blank.
Second.
Motion and support, and the information is Dana. I'll let you explain it, but the amount is 174. It's in the attachment, both the name and the number.
Correct. Another function of the audit committee is to entertain proposals for the preparation of the annual governmental audit. That audit is prepared by an outside independent CPA firm and then brought to the audit committee for review, and then the audit committee discusses it with the audit firm and then brought to the full board for approval. And we generally ask for 3-year requests for audit proposals, and we did that this summer. And we got a proposal from the firm of Dennis Gartland and Nygaard for a total of $174,000. The proposals were vetted with the audit committee, and a recommendation coming out of that committee would be to enter into an agreement with the firm of Dennis Gartland and Nygaard for a total of $174,000 to audit the funds and programs for the years 2015, 16, and 17.
So are there any questions from the board?
No, we discussed it earlier.
Hearing none, this will be a roll call vote.
DJ,
No.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Denise,
Yes.
Keith,
Yes.
Kim,
Yes.
Bridget,
Yes.
Jenny,
Yes.
Catherine.
Yes.
Thank you.
Were they the lowest bid?
No.
No, there was, well, the lowest bidder put in a 1-year proposal.
Yeah, that's the challenge.
But that's what we did in the.
And they acknowledged that they could only do a 1 year. That's the issue. Okay, next up is acceptance of 401k audit proposal.
That's why I said it's a good place to see it.
Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby appoints Anderson, Tackman and Company to perform the governmental audit for the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians 401k plan for an amount not to exceed a total of $26,085.
Motion by Denny,
Second.
second by Keith. Bill.
Okay, same concept as what we just discussed. We put forth, at the recommendation of the audit committee, an RFP for a 3-year audit proposal for the tribe's 401k plan. It's a requirement of the Department of Labor that the plan be audited every year. And as a result of that request, we did get a number of proposals. And the lowest one was submitted by Anderson Tackman for a total amount of $26,085.
Catherine.
Bill, I noticed the funding for this is under other. Can you explain the source of funding?
Funding for this comes from the accounting department, the payroll department, includes that in its budget.
Why wouldn't that be under tribe?
Because the accounting department pays for it out of its fees that it generates. It's not tribal support, is that what you're asking?
No, I just wanted to verify that it was coming from some source other than our own
No,
dollars.
it's coming from within the tribe, correct, but not tribal support, so we have tried to draw that distinction.
Okay, are there any other questions or comments? This is less than 50, so it's just a straight up vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next up is amending Chapter 20, bi-monthly catch reporting.
Aaron.
Yeah, without objection, we will read this one with the addition of the expiration date for the
Sure.
yeah, the reporting.
Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Directors amends Tribal Code Chapter 20, Great Lakes and St. Mary's River Treaty Fishing Regulations by adding a new section which shall read 20.102.14 by monthly catch reporting for MM 1, 2, and 3, which is a temporary regulation. A, each captain who fishes gill nets in MM 1, 2, and 3 at any given time in any given season must submit to IPFAB 2 accurate reports of their harvest for each approximate 2-week period within a given month. B, the first report shall be due the 10th of each month and the second shall be due the 25th of the same month. C, this section shall not apply to captains fishing trap nets or to captains who hold a conversion license. D, Cora Fishing Regulations section shall remain in effect except where stricter provisions are found herein. Be it further resolved that this amendment shall become effective immediately. Be it finally resolved that this amendment shall automatically terminate on December 1st, 2015. Should it be dissolved?
Second. Motion and second. Hold on, who was the motion? I'm sorry. Any, who was second?
Keith.
Whichever.
Okay. This one we've talked about probably sufficiently, so I would think we just go to the vote. Or Catherine?
I do have a question. So it's going to be effective immediately if it's passed tonight, and all affected tribal fishermen will receive notice in writing before the first date that it's due, which will be what? Can you figure that out on the calendar?
I would say the one part about effective immediately, I think we're close to being able to deploy it, but it might still be a week or two away. Because there's some technical things that are being worked out. Do you think it's ready?
I would think it probably is because the other tribes are already doing it, and
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, and they will.
The volume of our fishermen was,
Nobody will be penalized unless they've been formally noticed.
I'm sure Tom has a
Nobody
lot
will check their mail.
Yeah, let's follow up on that tomorrow.
Nobody's checking their mail, Aaron.
I don't know
I
about
didn't
that.
see it.
All right. Yeah, without objection, we'll have roll call.
DJ,
Yes.
Keith,
yes.
Kim,
Yes.
Catherine,
Yes.
Jenny,
Yes.
Denise,
No.
Bridget,
Yes.
Jennifer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, we have.
Inquiry regarding orders of the day.
Sure.
Are we going to be returning to board member concerns?
We could.
Because my inquiry about the order of the day is that, my understanding is that business that is not already listed on the agenda can still be motioned under new business, is that correct?
If you have 9 votes to add it to the agenda, that's correct.
The point of
But I
information is
asked
8 people.
before, that wasn't, John, what is the? Well,
Yeah,
if you
you
look
have-
at my board member concerns, you'll see what I'm asking.
If it's just an issue to discuss, there is no requirement for a vote. If there is a, well, actually, I'll have to ask without objection because that part is before the meeting starts. But if there's a motion to do something, to act, that has to be suspended, the rules have to be
You don't
suspended.
have
Well,
many people.
one is just a procedural motion, and that's why I was asking if that could be under new business.
You can't do it, Aaron.
You can discuss it, but you would have to get 9 votes to bring it to the table.
Discuss it because there's no discussion.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah,
discuss that either.
yeah, if there's an objection to bring it to the, if there's an objective to bringing board issues to the meeting at the end of the meeting, then there will have to be a motion and second to do it, then there have to be a majority vote.
The point of information, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
There's no item for discussion on the agenda, so there's nowhere to discuss.
Oh, so we'd have to add it to the agenda, you're right, you're right. You're right. So we go to, now we go to committee appointments.
You go there and then you're done.
Well, hold on.
Yeah, unless we adjourn, then we can go back into numbered issues.
I still have a question. I know that in the past, we have not adjourned, so that if a board member's concern generated an action to be taken by the board, we can still do that.
You have to have,
We've done that.
9 people.
You have to have 9.
You'd have to have 9 to add it to any action item to the agenda, yes. If you have an action item, you have to suspend the rules to add it to the agenda.
That hasn't been the
Actually, it has.
information that I've been given previously when I inquired about this with our legal counsel, when I've asked about motions.
It's 9.
That's why I'm trying to make sure that I understand it, because I want to address those 2 items for
Rex, can
members
you
who
pull the
are
door shut?
here.
Thank you.
One is just a procedural thing, and I think it's a very simple thing.
It's a vote though, it's a vote.
Well, it could be, or you could handle it administratively, that's up to you.
We don't have to be in session.
No,
Because it's
no,
not a
because you're
legal
asking
opinion.
for a legal opinion to be released.
But it wasn't a legal opinion.
Actually, it
was a
is.
report.
It is. And that can't be done unless there's a vote of the board. And that's not something I'm going to authorize to be
Orders of the
released
day.
for any purpose. All right, so orders of the day means we're back to the agenda, what we have left on the agenda, and if we want to adjourn the meeting and then go back to board issues, we can do that. All right, and there's only one. Committee appointments. There's only one committee appointment. Bridget.
I'm just trying to remember this. This is for Judy LaJoy, I believe.
Yeah.
To be appointed to the health committee.
Motion to approve.
Yeah. There's a motion, is there support? Support. Motion and support. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carries. That is all of the action items for the board tonight. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Procedural request on the
First and
scheduling
second.
issue. Don't require those to be on the agenda. Somebody wants to move that or not.
That's gonna take a vote of the board.
You don't have,
And that's gonna take a 9 votes to add it to the agenda and change.
Even the procedural
Yeah, I don't see the distinction.
on schedule.
I don't see the distinction.
Trying to get me to do that.
We already had a motion, a
We
second
have-
to adjourn.
We have always had a motion to change meetings.
Aaron has a motion.
We have always had
Adjourn.
that,
Aaron,
because we've always had to approve the,
there's a motion second to adjourn.
Because this is to change something we already approved, and that would take a positive majority and would take tonight
We have a
9
motion,
votes.
a second to adjourn.
Yes, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Four. Well, we're in a quandary then, folks, because the order of the day is that we are at the end of our agenda. We have no other action items on the agenda. And it will take 9 votes to add anything to the agenda. So your only recourse is to adjourn. And it was denied, but we're in a quandary, so.
Actually, what's the,
Is there a motion to add something to the agenda?
it would be dilatory.
no.
It's a point of information, it would be dilatory because there's only.
Hold on, no, there's no discussion needed. Is there a motion to add anything to the agenda? If there's not, then our only option is to adjourn.
Not adjourned, and still continue to address questions without adjourning. So that's not our only option. We have in the past continued.
You can, yes, you can, but you can't bring a motion to change something already approved. So, all right, is there any objection to going back into board issues?
Can we
Okay.
adjourn to executive session?
What's that?
We can adjourn to executive session.
All right, so without objection, we'll adjourn to executive session.
It's on the agenda.
And it is on the
To
agenda.
a closed meeting.
It's on the agenda.
So there was no objection, so we are now in executive session. That means everybody has to step out.